Hello, my name is Gretchen Shilson. I'm the jazz band director here at MWHS High School. Thank you for coming to the second installment of Coffee House Jazz for 2014. It is a packed house and we are so glad you're here. I'm going to let the jazz band kick it off with Southside Shuffle. You just heard some awesome improvised solos by Tom Lloyd, Rob Stokes, Isaac Light, and Ellie Montgomery. We're going to slow things down for a minute right away here with a tune you all know entitled When I Fall in Love, featuring Grant Harrison on the trumpet solo and Tom Lloyd again on alto sax. thank you again for being here tonight. Our choir boosters do such an amazing job of getting everything set up as a very convincing coffee house that now we've lulled you into this nice relaxed atmosphere. But what's coming at you next is indeed hot coffee. Cafe Caliente, cool little Latin tune. Hot little Latin tune? Anyway, that is gonna get you back up out of your seat. So enjoy Cafe Caliente. You're gonna hear a duet by Zach Gall on saxophone and Josh Klein on trumpet, and more improvised solos by Zach Gall, Joe Maruska, Nick Battis, Hans Johnson, and Adam Fish. Cafe Caliente. These saxophones are going to be a good talking to with this microphone stand. It will be in good shape. All right, so as I do every Saturday of Coffee House Jazz, I begin with apologies to everybody who was here last night because you're going to hear some of the same announcements. But I have to do all the same bragging as I did last night because they're still the same awesome kids, and there we are. So hopefully you don't mind hearing good things twice in a row. And forgive the notes. The kids know that I have lots of nice things to say, but then I ramble, so I can't ramble if I got this. So thanks for your patience. I wanted to say again how many firsts we've had for the jazz band this year. And it was so neat last night as we were leaving and tearing everything down. I had so many audience members come up and tell me, we can tell this is a year of first. We can tell the band is different this year, and it's really neat. This is actually year 7 for our jazz band, but here are some of our firsts. It's the very first year we've had full instrumentation. That means we don't just have enough saxophones like all high school jazz bands do. We actually have enough trombones and trumpets to play the parts. And that's a really big deal, and it makes for a big jazz band sound. So to everybody who came out and auditioned and made that happen, thank you. That's a huge deal. Yay, brass section. Cool. We also went to our first jazz festival this year that was out of our region. We traveled all the way to Lamberton, Minnesota. Yes, Lamberton. You giggle, yes, I know. Quite the little trip. And on a Tuesday, what a bizarre little festival. And it was amazing. It was amazing for being a bizarre little festival on a Tuesday in this tiny town with a tinier school. But it was really, really neat for us. As I mentioned yesterday, for us to be a big fish in a small pond was really, really neat to hear all these other bands. We heard some other good bands. We heard a lot of things we should do. We heard a lot of things we shouldn't do, and we learned a ton. What was really neat for me is when the judges came up to me. One judge came up to me at the end of the day and said, okay, I've been here all day, I've listened to all the bands, and just so you know, it's not a competitive festival, but your band is the best one here. And that was really cool, because he felt the need to say that. Somebody asked, you were never told that. That poor guy, it never happened. Don't look up who that judge was, they'll get him in trouble. But I did also want to recognize, I gave them certificates last night, but Ellie Montgomery and Rob Stokes, if you would stand up please, so I can say nice things about you. These two were selected as outstanding soloists for their improvised solos during that jazz festival. Some of the, all the bands that played that day, some of the soloists were recognized. So a round of applause for them. Speaking of solos, another first. The first year that I didn't have to beg and plead with more than 2 or 3 students to actually get up and do an improvised solo, which can be a scary thing and a difficult thing. It takes great years and it takes great preparation, and it's difficult to sit in your room at home and practice chord changes by yourself, and that's hard. And for that reason, many high school jazz bands avoid it and don't take that chance. And these guys have stepped up in amazing ways. I believe we have 9 improv soloists you're going to hear tonight, and it's changed the course of this band. It's made it more about what jazz band is supposed to be. It's made it more back to basics and about creativity, and it's all about the music. So to all the kids who took a chance, even if they didn't do it on stage, they've all done at least one, some of them exactly one, I'm working on that. At least one improvised solo in rehearsal. So they're starting to open up to that idea, and that's really cool. So congratulations for your courage, folks. We know that. And then I have to mention that a lot of these wonderful things that just suddenly started happening this year, of course, didn't suddenly just start happening. What happens is that we have some great leadership. We have people who have been around for years and years. We call those people seniors, and I have 4 of them. So I'm going to have them all come down front tonight. Yep. They forgot who they were. Come on. There's this graduation thing coming up, so you make sure you practice walking across the stage. See, this is good. This is good for us. We've got one of them trapped. See, this is why we practice. It's fine. All right. I'm just going to say a few words about each of these ladies because they're just outstanding people. And Hannah's first, and that's good because then if she cries, she'll have time to recover before we make her play again. Right? Yeah. Okay. Good. I sat down and again I wrote some notes just about what I wanted to say. And the first thing I thought about with Hannah is that she's not a trombone player. Well, she's a terrific trombone player. But she's a tuba player, and she's a really good tuba player. And the way I see this whole journey for jazz band starting for Hannah was when she was in 8th grade, she played tuba in the pit orchestra. Yes, 9th grade. 8th grade, okay. And every year after that, she kept saying, Mrs. Chilson, is there going to be a two-a-part? She got addicted to the after-school band thing. I want to be a part of that. This is great. Every year it was, no, there's no two-a-part. Sorry, we're doing the show. There's no two-a-part. And I said, no, if you like this whole thing so much, there's this other instrument. It's called trombone. We could use more of them in our jazz band. Back when we had two, maybe, or whatever. Yeah, there weren't any for a while. It was very serious. Anyway, we won't reminisce about that part. But, so I said, now how do we just throw you on this brand new instrument that you haven't done before and cause you all sorts of grief about learning a brand new instrument, and you would never know, standing on this stage tonight, that it wasn't her first instrument. Just outstanding work and outstanding courage to double on instruments and do all that stuff. So, congratulations, Miss Hannah Brewstead. I have the rose for you. This is Miss Ellie Montgomery, and she also plays a non-band instrument, technically, which is really cool because, again, I know I'm on a trombone spiel here, but back in the day when we didn't have enough trombones, Ellie, you sort of play a trombone, baritone is sort of like the trombone. Come on by, we'll take you, that'd be great. And it's really interesting because I kind of thought at all these festivals and adjudicated contests we did that they would go, that band has a baritone, I don't know, that's kind of breaking the rules. And instead we hear just the opposite. We heard at our contest this year, we heard it gives a nice dark warm sound to the ensemble, it really opens, it makes it sound full. And so to have this young lady joining the jazz band with her, also, and you're going to hear her sing later today too, with her amazing ears and her amazing musicality is just really special. So thank you, Ellie, we appreciate you being part of the jazz band. This is Miss Kristen Holmberg. She's not a trumpet player either. And again, terrific trumpet player. She's a French horn player. All these kids are doing double duty for me, which is so cool. And when I think of Kristen, I think the same thing. She's a little more shy by nature, likes the French horn section because, there's a few of them. You can make pretty sounds that maybe aren't as, out there as that, those cocky trumpet players we all grew up with. All the band people just went, yeah. Personality-wise, Kristen is more of a horn player. She's delightful. So we've been trying to make her mean, and it's not working. She's not very mean and aggressive, but we're working on her. But so again, for her to start a new instrument and have all this courage to not just play the trumpet, but be a serious leader and be out there and doing amazing things for this band is so special. So thank you, Kristen. And she's delightful because we have come so far. And I saved this, actually 3 of these young ladies, they're all in the same class, but Ellie joined us later, and we're glad you did. This class of graduating seniors, their first year of band at Grandview Middle School was my first year of band at Grandview Middle School. They are truly the first class. Oh, see, I'm crying. They are truly the first class I've had all the way through. I didn't have them every year for every class, but they were there when I was beginning and vice versa, and that's so special. And for all of them, particularly for Christine, those early years being a girl in the trombone section in middle school, it's no fun. You struggle through all these things, like chaos that happens in the back row. I know. Smile and nod. All the band people are like, yeah. But to persevere through all that and to be so active and do the solo ensemble festival and be part of our jazz band, and again, to get to the point to be a senior and to have all the leadership roles that you've held in music this year, we just really appreciate all your hard work. So congratulations, Christine. All right, seniors.
So we just had a few gifts to give to Ms. Chilson to thank you for all of her years. Okay, try not to cry so I can actually tell you. And so she's really made this jazz band into an amazing experience. It's definitely been the best musical experience of high school for me, and it's been really, really fun. And so we have just some flowers, and then a card from both the seniors, and then there's a card from all of us for jazz band. Thank you.
Delightful people, what did I tell you? They're just amazing. All right, you came to hear a concert. We're having a little moment up here, and you probably want to hear some more music. I'll ditch the plant, I promise. It's beautiful. I love it. My family is right here. I'll just give it to them. So the next thing in the program is Soul Bossa Nova. You probably don't know that title, but you may recognize it as the theme song from the Austin Powers movie. So if you feel inclined to get up and 60s dance, go right ahead. is improvised solos. There's a ton of them, so forgive the notes. You just heard Rob Stokes, Adam Fish, Josh Klein, Zach Gall, Ellie Montgomery, Hans Johnson, and Tom Lloyd on those great solos. All right, I'm just going to do a few thank yous and then we'll get back to the music. My thank yous have to start with these kids. You can hear they're amazing musicians, and you've heard me say the word delightful like 14 times, but they're just wonderful people. And their passion for this group and for doing everything extra they can get their hands on in music is outstanding. I mentioned last night that we get all these conflicts with sports and other activities, which is understandable because these kids are good at everything. They're not just involved in everything, they're successful at everything they do, and they're the leaders in our school, and we want them to be able to participate in everything. But that is hard on them, and we know that. We know that having a small community like this means our kids get pulled in a lot of directions, and it is so hugely rewarding for me when they choose jazz band, when they decide to make it a priority, when they go to coach and say, this is important to me too, but I have to find a way to get to jazz band. That's really neat. That's good for all of us. So to all the coaches, to all the parents, to all the people who support everything these kids do, and to the kids themselves, congratulations on a great year, folks. You're amazing people. The next folks I wanted to thank are just the families of these people you see behind me, because somehow they had to get to those Tuesday morning rehearsals at 7 a.m. and they had to find a ride home after the Friday afternoon rehearsals and all of that stuff. So I know those logistics take a toll, and weeks like this with all these concerts and racing from one event to another, it's a lot, and it takes a lot of passion from not only the students but the parents. So thank you to all of you who made this happen tonight. Thank you, parents. Tonight I have the opportunity also, just because I have a mic and a captive audience, I get to recognize some people who make it possible for me to do what I do, because while these guys are showing up Tuesday morning and Friday afternoons, I have these children and they have to get to daycare, and then they have to get home, and then they have to be picked up, and then I'm with these guys, which is great. Okay? I call them the big kids. When I'm talking to my little kids, I say, I have to go be with the big kids now, I'll be back later. So to my husband and to my mother, who make this happen so I can be with these guys, thank you. And wait, tomorrow is Mother's Day, so you're all going to give Mom big hugs today. That's an order tomorrow. But I wanted to say, since I have both my mom and my mother-in-law here tonight, thank you for your support and for making this happen, because it takes a village to make this happen, and I have a great village right here at this front table, so thank you. I mentioned it before, but thank you to the choir boosters. We're so fortunate that this is the one performance of the year where we just get to show up and play, and they set up all the treats and all the tickets and all the logistics. They do that for us, which is awesome. So please support everything that Mrs. Larson is going to tell you about later in the program, because they do it all, and we just get to show up and do what we do, which is awesome. So thank you, choir boosters. Last one, I promise. I wanted to say thank you to MWHS. Some of you haven't heard them yet, but outstanding singers you're going to be hearing after intermission. Their hard work and the way these groups respect each other and support each other is really, really neat and really special. And it doesn't happen at all schools. That's really neat. I wanted to specifically mention Mrs. Larson, Kate Larson, because I'm fortunate not just to have a good colleague in her, but a good friend. You know, I joked last night, yet MWHS is making sure you see her. See, they're over there, and there she is, back there in the green dress. But I wanted to say thank you, because I'm so blessed to have not just a working relationship, but a personal relationship with her and her family. And I joked last night about how if we were at a coffee house, we'd probably be having a movie night in our living rooms. And I thought, yes, but I need to tell them about how it always deteriorates into the preschoolers scream singing the soundtrack from Frozen as they dance around the house and act it out. And while that's just a silly story if you enjoy it, it's really neat to be able to share that with the other big musician in this community. And we want the same things for our own kids growing up. We want the same things for your kids. So it's really neat to be a part of this community and share that relationship. So thank you, Kate. Okay, hey, more music. We have more, I promise. We're going to continue with the beautiful ballad, I Dreamed a Dream from Les Miserables, featuring Zach Gall and Tom Lloyd on alto saxophone. at Hawaii 5-0, which is crazy to me. Mrs. Larson, did you want to say a few things about what's happening during intermission? While she's coming up, this is the tune last night that got the cool reaction, like, oh yeah, this is so neat. For some people, because it's an old TV show, for some of it's a new TV show, but we had a lot of fun preparing this one. And a big thanks to our custodians for finding a way to get 3 timpani here for a jazz concert. That's above and beyond. So enjoy our last tune, and please stick around. You're in for a treat with Mad Jazz.
Thank you, Gretchen. Wow, these guys are just sounding amazing, so we're going to get one more tune from them. I'm just going to say a few things before we get to that intermission point. We have a couple of things available to you. Some of you maybe already saw when you came in, but we have some mugs that we had made this year that say "We Make Music" and it has our West Tonga logo on there. And we're offering them tonight for $5, and then you can actually drink your coffee out of your mug. So if you don't have one yet, we'd love to have you get one and support our music program. We also have some CDs available, and I know you haven't heard anything yet, so maybe you can decide that later after you've heard Mad Jazz. But we recorded a CD this year. It's a compilation of Mad Jazz and our concert choir from the high school. Selections from the entire school year. Professionally done, really good, professionals that are working with us to make this sound really nice. And so we have those for sale for $15. And actually all of the songs that Mad Jazz is going to sing tonight, except for the last final number that we do with the jazz band, are on the CD. So if you really like them, you can have them forever on your own CD. And then lastly, we will, after this last tune, take a 15-minute intermission. There are so many wonderful desserts and quite a variety back there. Mad Jazz is like drooling in the corner because they're all looking at them. But you have to wait, I guess. So please enjoy some wonderful desserts courtesy of the choir boosters and some coffee, and we have other beverages as well. Thank you so much for being here tonight. You'll hear more from me later, but I'm going to turn it back over to the jazz band.